and it was like a blur.
I turned around and Demi had punched her backup dancer in the face.
Think you know Demi Lovato? Think again. The singer and actress just released her new documentary, Simply Complicated, and we're breaking down the most shocking reveals here on the lineup. How's it going, everyone? Lisa here, and first things first, if you haven't clicked over to Demi Lovato's YouTube channel to watch her documentary, Simply Complicated, do yourself a favor and watch it. And even if you watch this video first because maybe you just only wanted a summary of what happened in it, you should really go watch the whole thing because honestly the whole thing is pretty shocking. Like, I thought I knew a lot about Demi. You probably thought you knew a lot about Demi, but we were all proven wrong. I gotta say, I'm proud of Demi. She has come so far, and for her to open up and let the world into a side of her that most people would definitely keep hidden away forever, like, kudos to you, Demi. Let's move on to some of the most shocking reveals. And I know that there's gonna be things that you thought were shocking that aren't on my list, so leave those down in the comments below. But like I said before, honestly, a lot of the documentary, if not the whole documentary, is pretty shocking. First up, this is not Demi's first documentary. Demi first left rehab back in January of 2011, and a little over a year later, in March of 2012, she released a documentary on MTV called Demi Lovato, Stay Strong. Now, in the documentary, she talked all about her road to recovery and her struggles and everything that was happening with her. But it turns out that during this time, Demi was talking about recovery, she was actually still using.
I actually had anxiety around this interview.
Why is that?
Because the last time I did an interview this long, I was on cocaine.
Now, the second shocking reveal is just how bad things were during that time. Like, did you know that she almost overdosed once and even entered a psych ward? After Demi left treatment in 2011, she stopped working on her program and she just wasn't ready to get sober. So she'd sneak drugs on planes, she'd sneak them in the bathroom throughout the night. She even had like 20 sober companions that had no idea what she was doing. She was super manipulative. She even went on a 2-month bender using drugs like cocaine and Xanax daily. One night though in Palm Springs, she took a bunch of pills and locked herself in her hotel room, and her people had to kick open the door.
She gets taken to the hospital. The nurse is checking her in. The bottle of pills is there. She grabs the pills. She then downs all the other pills and says, "You bitch. If I just tried to kill myself, why would you give me access to pills?"
Now, after that incident, she went into the psych ward, but it actually didn't help because Demi didn't even want to get clean. She continued to fake drug tests. She even performed super hungover on American Idol, which was kind of the last straw for her manager and everyone she worked with.
Joe and Demi's relationship had become really complicated, so I was playing the bridge. I'm helping her back into, coming back to being the Demi that we all know and love. She's not going to do anything crazy. It's going to be fine. And then this episode happened.
As for the next shocking moment, you've probably heard the stories about Demi punching her backup dancer, Shorty, that ended up being the incident that sent her off to rehab. Well, in the documentary, we're finally getting Demi's side of what happened. During the Camp Rock 2 tour, she invited a bunch of the dancers, her band, and others to dinner, and they ended up going back to the hotel room to kind of party. There was alcohol that she bought, someone brought weed, and she was also on Adderall. Now, they ended up trashing the hotel, and the hotel threatened some of them and questioned the dancers to figure out what happened. So Demi ended up thinking someone told on her for using Adderall. All this info got back to Kevin Jonas Sr., Phil McIntyre, and Demi's dad, and then the next day,
Going to Kevin Sr. and saying, "Listen, I want to thank whoever told on me because I know they were just worried about me. And I just really want to know who told you." And I manipulated him into telling me who it was.
Kevin Sr. ended up telling Demi that it was Shorty, so Demi got on the plane and went up to Shorty and just punched her in the face. And then she just went back to her seat and slept the rest of the day, and that seemed to be Demi's breaking point. The next shocking reveal is just how bad things were for Demi when she was in school. Now, she has openly talked about being bullied, but I had no idea it was this bad. Now, in school, one of the popular girls started bullying Demi, so much so that they were calling her a whore, calling her fat, and they even told her to kill herself. In fact, that popular girl started a suicide petition that got passed around, got signatures from other students, which is just insane to think about. Like, why would you sign a petition for someone to kill themselves? Like, I can't even fathom it, but like, Some people are just cruel in this world. Now, when Demi asked kids why the petition was going around, why they would sign it, no one could even give her a specific reason as to why they were wishing all this hate on her.
I called my mom on my cell phone and I said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Pick me up. She picked me up from school, and that's when my eating disorder developed.
My fifth shocking reveal from Demi's documentary is that she is actually still struggling with her eating disorder. Now, she's been sober from drugs and alcohol for about 5.5 years now, but recently she relapsed with her eating disorder with binging and purging.
What started the relapse was missing Wilmer.
In the documentary, Demi really opens up about her relationship with Wilmer, all the good times they had, how it was love at first sight for her, and all the happy times, and then also what led to their breakup. They were together for 6 years, and Demi had gone 3 years without purging, but when they broke up, it was one of the first things she did.
And when I feel lonely, like my heart feels hungry. And then I end up binging.
Demi seems to be doing a lot better now, and while food is still one of her biggest challenges, she's channeled all of that into fitness and jiu-jitsu and focusing her mind on something else.
Anytime I'm able to take my mind off of any of my addictions, it's very beneficial to me.
Now, most of this documentary is pretty heavy, and for the last two reveals, I'm just gonna pick two of the lighter ones in the documentary. So the next reveal relates to those rumors about Demi and Niall Horan possibly dating, and that was back in 2012 and 2013. But it seems like maybe there was a little something between them in 2016. In a segment where Demi is talking about dating again and having fun, her assistant talks about how Demi had 4 suitors at her Future Now tour stop in Anaheim last year, and the assistant had to try to seat them in different places, schedule them so they didn't see Demi at the same time or run into each other.
It wasn't 4. I feel like it was only 2. It was N and then L, but they had guests. And then
Okay, so there's an N suitor, an L suitor, and we do know Niall's name obviously starts with N, and he was at that show in Anaheim. So is he the mysterious N? We may never know. As for the last reveal, did you know that Demi's kind of like us? Well, not like me because I don't use dating apps, but she does like many of the population out there. She is on a dating app, and she also is open to dating men or women.
I am on the dating app with both guys and girls. I am open to human connection. So whether that's through a male or a female, it doesn't matter to me.
So what dating app is Demi on? Well, she is on Ryo, which is a private membership-based community, so basically an exclusive dating app for mainly famous people or important people or, you know, people who are high up. So if you're on the app and you just happen to see Demi, you may be in luck, but just a rule of thumb if you're looking to win her over. Don't be a douchebag and don't play games with her.
He texted me, "You good?" And I texted back, "No phone, who this?"
Oh, I saw your, do you see on Instagram?
All right, so that's my list of the 7 most shocking reveals from Demi's Simply Complicated documentary. Now, like I said, there are more shocking reveals because Demi opens up about everything, including just how bad her eating disorder was when it started, her relationship with her father, her relationship with Wilmer, when she started doing drugs, everything. And it's also sprinkled, though, with a lot of happy times as we see her making the album, going on her house party tour, choosing a single. Yes, there are happy times. Now, though, I want to hear from you in the comments. What were your favorite parts of Demi's documentary? Were there any moments that truly shocked you, and what parts? Also, gotta give a shout out to the documentary for showing a bit of our B-roll of Demi and Wilmer. Leave me all your thoughts, and then you can take a trip down memory lane with my first ever interview with Demi Lovato right over here, or you can check out my recent interview with Sophia Carson. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time on The Lineup.